You guys remember when Marvel movies and the release dates were written in absolute stone? Well, we've been wondering about Deadpool 3, and now we got a pretty interesting update, and it looks like they're going to step off of that May release date, and somebody's going to step in. Let's talk about it. Remember back when Marvel Studios always hit their date, and Kevin Feige took it as a statement of pride on how their releases happened when they said they would, and things didn't get moved around. Yeah, the good old days. Well, none of this has been made absolutely official yet by Marvel Studios, but several trades are reporting that Deadpool 3 will not actually release this coming May, but it will be replaced by Captain America: Brave New World. Now, with no definitive end in sight for the strike, we probably should have seen this coming because the writing has been on the wall for a little while. With no end to the strike anywhere to be seen, I guess in the timeline we should have probably seen this news coming our way. Now, like I said, this comes from the trades, Deadline to be specific, and what they are saying is that Deadpool 3 will no longer make its planned May the 3rd, 2024 release date. Even if the strike ends in the next few weeks, there is simply not enough time to finish the movie, but it does appear Marvel has a plan. Now, before we get into Marvel's plan, the trade does add that Deadpool 3 is likely not to be alone because several early releases for all studios in 2024, they're all delayed because of the strike. So be prepared because many of your other favorite films, even outside of the comic book genre, are likely to get bounced around. Now, there is some good news in the same report because they are saying that Captain America: Brave New World is, and I quote, in better shape than Deadpool 3 having finished production, and could shift from its July the 26th release date and move it up to Deadpool's May the 3rd. Now, this seems like a pretty solid plan to me. Captain America 4 has been in production for a really long time, and the cameras finished rolling quite a while back. The strike has not impacted that film's production at all. So I do think Captain America moving into that slot and keeping Marvel's schedule just a different order in place is probably the best plan for everybody. Now, there is a distinct other possibility because we should not forget that the Thunderbolts was set to release next December, and they haven't even stepped in front of the camera yet. The writer's strike combined with the actor's strike has put that production really far behind, and in my opinion, there's absolutely no way that movie gets released next December, and should the strike continue, Deadpool might not be moved to the July 26th date held by Captain America, but instead get bumped all the way to the end of the year, maybe even in the Thunderbolts' December 20th date. Now, all of this comes from recently published comments from Deadpool 3 director Sean Levy, where he made it pretty clear he wasn't sure they were going to make the release date and that they had edited half the movie, but there was still a lot of work to be done. Marvel's trimming back all the details at all ends, and the idea that they won't rush this movie, well, I think that's a solid plan. Deadpool 3 is very likely to rejuvenate parts of the MCU, bringing Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds into the fold. Fans are super excited about this, so if you rush it and mess it up, well, quite honestly, it could do more and maybe even irrevocable damage to the MCU, even in the state it's in right now. Now, what we have to hope for is that the strike ends sometime soon. And honestly, guys, every time they go back to the table, these efforts seem to fall apart. The only bit of good news we've gotten recently is there's some big stars from Hollywood have pledged to donate $150 million over the next 3 years to break the stalemate between the studios and the actors and get everybody back to work. Honestly, the strike has done a ton of damage to almost every franchise we know. I am not surprised Deadpool 3 is moving due to all the delays, and since Captain America was wrapped up and this just might accelerate the post-production process, I feel way more comfortable with this than rushing Deadpool 3, but if they just pushed it to the end of the year in the Thunderbolt slot and didn't give us anything in May, I probably would be okay with that too, if it's all about the quality. Hopefully we get some sort of official announcement from Marvel or Disney sometime soon. Like I said, this came from Deadline, and Deadline's not Marvel Studios or Kevin Feige, but they are Hollywood trade, and that is always better than an anonymous scooper. Hopefully we have some more news very soon.